Alright, so what we have here, $110 welder, $169 welder, prior to any kind of discounts or anything. If you're in the military, you'll get that for about $155 from Home Depot. Other places may vary. It is a Century fc-90, and that is a $110 welder, again prior to discounts. Some sales you'll probably get it for about $99. Every once in a while you sneak in a coupon for $89 or something. So this welder is slightly more expensive, but the trade-off is this welder is 35 pounds. This welder is 15 pounds. It's an inverter welder. It's a DC flux core. They're both flux core, so neither of them are going to be all that pretty. But that one's AC, this one's DC. Now this one's a transformer welder, much heavier. And well, I'm going to do a quick overview of them, and I'm going to do some street welding in the middle of San Diego here. So they both open up top. They both have cheap plastic wire feed mechanisms. Nothing too crazy. Two settings, 60 amps and 90 amps. This is a 125 amp model. I don't know where they get that number from. I honestly don't, because the two settings are 60 and 90. They look very similar to the 90 amp model, so I don't know. This comes with the carrying strap. The top is a little more sturdy opening. There is absolutely no room for anything other than 1 pound of wire. Very similar. Actually, I would be surprised if they weren't the exact same. Feed mechanism. Wow, practically the same exact feed mechanism. So yeah, nothing super duper good or bad about it. Big difference is there's two settings on this, and then on this one you can go control the wire speed just like on that one, and you can control the amperage or voltage. So you can go all the way down to 30 amps to weld sheet metal, and all the way up to 90 amps. So they're both max out at the same. The one on the right has a 30% duty cycle at 80 amps instead of 20% for the one on the left. So now, how do you say it? That is a 12 gauge cord, and I have a 3,500 watt generator. It should pull both of them just fine, and we're going to do some testing. So I'm gonna let this cool down so nobody says I preheated it or whatever. So I don't have a brush to clean it up, but the weld looks all right. A lot of those little beads, that's that splatter you'll get from flux core welding, especially with AC. I don't necessarily know how deep it went, so I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna do the other welder. Oh, I killed my genset. Alright, so let's see what's going down. At max power, all the way at 10, which is presumably 90 amps. I tripped my generator, and right around here you could see where, well, that's ugly. That's got a lot of porosity and whatnot. And I had the choke run on the generator. I adjusted the choke and given it all the power the generator had. This is how it looks. Probably should grab it with this. Okay, as you can see, a lot less splatter. Definitely a lot more power. It punches through better than, doesn't go all the way clean through. So something this thick is this 1/4 inch, 3/8, it won't do all right. See all those little balls? That's after I rubbed it with someone's getting it. Anyway, so that's after I rubbed it with these pliers. So they're pretty, I mean, they're coming off, but makes a mess. And not quite as powerful. My settings may have been off a little bit, but there's only 2 settings on the Harbor Freight setup. And this one has a dial setting, so I could turn it down, turn it up, You could do sheet metal work all day off a cheap little $100 generator. You just can't go full power. See that weld right there? That has some porosity. Not the greatest weld, but these two passes right here were semi-decent and a whole lot less splatter. Being DC, it just feels better, it's easier to control. Now, mind you, I am not a welder, I'm a hack. And this is a $110 generator in the middle of some San Diego industrial center. So this isn't a perfect test, but what better test would you have of a welder this light and this cheap? So put down in the comments below which welder you would trust for under $200. Also, I know some of you are going to tell me to just go ahead and buy an American welder, and I agree with you. So if you can, shoot me the cheapest American made welder, and I would gladly, when I get a chance, buy one and test it out, because I haven't been able to find any. They're all over $1,000, and I don't have keys for my Datsun. Why would I leave a $1,000 welder in the back of it, you know? So these are both, you know, there's some mods you could do to the Harbor Freight welder that'll make it DC, but then again, at that point, why not just buy this? It's lighter, it's smaller, clearly it has more power, it trips the breaker on my generator, and it welds a lot smoother for sheet metal work. If you turn it down, if you turn it up, well, you know, it'll work. So tell me what you think, and feel free